Eso es muy distinto, nunca se va a poder dar esa pelea.
Nada más se puede, pero si él viene para 168 tal vez.
Sí, pero no creo que lo haga.
Pues sí, lo importante es ganar, vernos bien. Estamos trabajando muy fuerte, creo que tenemos que ganar la pelea.
Drop, or he feels it enough to be like, fuck this, I'm boxing. And goes on the bicycle and turns southpaw for the rest of the night. And I wouldn't blame him either. Fuck it, you're gonna go in there and collect a fucking paycheck at that point.
Right.
You're not gonna go get hurt.
Right.
What good is it to get fucking 20, 30 million if you are fucking hurt physically, end up in the hospital and hurt just physically, life-changing, you don't want that shit.
But you think Canelo could hurt him? What could be life-changing?
Good, he's that big, fool. One punch could fucking knock him out bad enough to hurt his eye socket or in a detached retina. You never fucking know.
Right.
Tensions flared right from the start. As expected, Terence "Bud" Crawford and Canelo Álvarez showed up for their media duties, but what was supposed to be a routine press event quickly spiraled out of control. Surprisingly, it wasn't Canelo who set things off. Instead, his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, completely lost his cool and hurled a chilling threat at Crawford: "What you've done will come back to haunt you." This wasn't just typical pre-fight trash talk. Reynoso's words carried weight, signaling that this fight is about far more than punches. It's about respect, legacy, and Canelo's entire career. What made the moment even more striking was Crawford's reaction. He didn't flinch. He didn't fire back. He simply stood there, calm and confident, with a grin that seemed to say, Reynoso had only reinforced his belief that he has exactly what it takes to beat Canelo Álvarez.
Beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your mom.
I'm taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
and
night.
I know Turkey's in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see.
We'll
know it.
We'll see.
We gonna see.
Things didn't stop with words. This wasn't just some back and forth for headlines. The exchange wasn't planned, and both Canelo and Reynoso know their reputations are on the line. For Team Álvarez, respect is everything. For Crawford, though, this is about proving that brains and belief can overcome size. His betting that his ring IQ, his composure under fire, and his ruthless mindset will be enough to neutralize Canelo's physical advantages. The message was clear: this isn't just another fight. It's a clash of pride, legacy, and strategy, where every move, every word, and every look could be the difference between dominance and disaster.
No,
great fighter.
You see what happened when a good fighter jump up and his opponent is great fighter. So you're gonna find out.
So that means you're a good fighter and Bivol is a great fighter. Is you a good fighter or a great fighter? Let me know.
I'm a great fighter.
So you got your ass whooped by a good fighter, right?
You're a good fighter.
Well, every time you stepped up, you lost. Great fighter.
I'm not.
Stories about Bud's strength have been floating around for years. Some insist Canelo is in for the shock of his life, that Crawford's power and precision will translate even at 168. Others dismiss it, arguing that in this division size and strength always tell the story, and Canelo has both in abundance. Then there's a third camp, stuck in the middle, claiming this fight can't be predicted at all. Too many variables. Too many unknowns. That uncertainty is exactly what makes the stakes feel higher than ever.
They say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Álvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Álvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G. the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
The fight of the decade might have taken a sharp turn after this press meeting. Let's break it down. Things escalated when Crawford calmly dropped a bombshell. With a cold, almost cocky tone, he told the media he already knew the blueprint to beat Canelo. "I've studied him," Bud said, leaning into the mic with confidence. "I control the plan. I've broken him down before, and I know exactly how to do it again."
I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out, from Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not. Kovalev
was older. He does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo though?
A tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always have respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too. It'll be good.
Crawford stood the way we always picture him, calm, confident, and unshaken. As reporters pressed forward, the crowd buzzed with whispers. That's when Reynoso snapped, slamming his palm on the table. "You think this is easy?" he barked. "Canelo isn't like those welterweights you faced. At 168 pounds, he's a different beast. Step into that ring, and you'll regret it. You'll regret ever thinking you could walk in here and tarnish his name." The room erupted. Cameras flashed. Within minutes, headlines were flying across the boxing world.
Undisputed at 154, and Canelo hit him, and Jamel was like, hell no, Jamel took a knee. You know, so it's a big difference. And Crawford had that one fight at 154, and he didn't, Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. You talk about Canelo. Now, if it was just another bigger guy, I would go with Crawford. But you talk about this might be, people might kill me for it, but well, not really, but this might be the best Mexican fighter ever. One of them, at least, right? You talk about Canelo and Crawford going up against him. So the only thing they have, but I would say the only thing he has going for him is he's a skillful fighter, and Canelo is older, but so is Crawford too. I think Crawford is 37, 38, something like that. Canelo's 36, so they both are older right now. But man, I don't personally see it. A lot of people see that Crawford can beat Canelo. It's just like that punch resistance is something else. They make weight classes for a reason. If he could beat him, man, I think he on the Mount Rushmore of fighters if Crawford can pull this off. But I don't see it.
Oh, what pushed Reynoso over the edge? Simple. This fight isn't just about paychecks or headlines. For him, it's about legacy. He's been by Canelo's side through every war, every doubter, every test. To hear Crawford dismiss it all with a grin was more than Reynoso could stomach. This isn't just another fight for Team Canelo, it's personal. Reynoso wants to prove that their years of dominance at 168 can't be undone by a challenger moving up 3 divisions. And in his eyes, Crawford's confidence isn't just bold, it's disrespect.
Also, to his son and current head trainer Eddie, this collaboration transcends more typical trainer-boxer bonds. They're family.
Me conoce desde que tengo 13 años. Como un hermano, la verdad es que es como familia para mí. Pues prácticamente llegué al gimnasio sabiendo muy poco y Eddie me hizo todo lo que soy. Y Eddie sabe lo que puedo hacer, me manda a hacer lo que sé hacer y sabe que si me manda a hacer algo lo voy a hacer perfectamente. A lo mejor no en ese rato, pero ya lo traigo en la cabeza y en el momento que lo necesite lo voy a hacer. Eso, así, pollo. Tengo un equipo muy bueno y me mantienen tranquilos. Eso. Hemos tenido muchos campamentos, hemos estado mucho tiempo juntos. Prácticamente la he pasado más tiempo con ellos que con mi familia.
Reynoso and Canelo have been inseparable since the beginning. He's watched Canelo grow from a fiery red-haired teenager fighting in small Mexican arenas to a global superstar with the boxing world at his feet. That journey wasn't just Canelo's, it was theirs. Every insult, every doubt, every headline questioning Canelo's greatness cuts deep for Reynoso too. So when critics praise Crawford as the man who could dethrone his fighter, Reynoso doesn't just hear it as analysis. He hears it as a shot at his own work, his own legacy, and the bond he's built with Canelo for decades. And that's why, at the press table, the frustration finally boiled over.
Munguía, pues obviamente con Munguía estamos al 100%, ¿no? Él lo sabe. Solamente él sabe lo que pasó. No, al final de cuentas sabe lo que pasó. Obviamente la gente le tira a Eddie que porque Eddie no le lleva su suplementación, Eddie no le lleva sus cosas de lo que tiene que comer, ni mucho menos para que entienda. Eddie nomás lo entrena y punto. ¿Cuál fue hace tiempo yo le dije a Eddie, tú tienes, el día que vayas a agarrar un peleador, ¿qué es lo que tienes que hacer? Agarrarlo desde todo. Tú tienes que darle de comer, suplementación y todo. ¿Para qué? Para que no te pasen esas cosas, porque ya han pasado. Y lo que sí tengan bien claro es que nosotros creemos en Munguía, que seguramente lo va a aclarar pronto. Y lo que quiero que tengan bien claro es que Eddie Reynoso no le da su suplementación. Eddie Reynoso nomás se dedica a entrenar.
Boxing coaches aren't just strategists. They're architects of careers, guardians of reputations, and often father figures in the toughest sport on earth. So when Crawford leaned into the MIC and spoke with that icy confidence, it wasn't just a challenge to Canelo's fists. It was a challenge to Reynoso's life's work. To Tio Reynoso, the words carried more weight than a left hook. They suggested not only that Crawford believed he could beat Canelo, but that he could dismantle everything Reynoso had spent decades building, brick by brick, fight by fight. That's why his reaction, the pounding of the table, the sharp words, seemed so raw. But here lies the real question. Was Reynoso's outburst a slip of pure emotion, or was it calculated theater to rattle Crawford? After all, in boxing, the fight begins long before the first bell. The press conferences, the mind games, the verbal warfare, all of it shapes the battlefield.
Able to be aggressive, not be affected by Bud's punches, and just keep, attacking and imposing that will on him. And then Bud being the dog that he is, and, just saying, you know what, I'm going to go. I'm letting loose.
Yeah.
I think that can change the effect on Bud, and I think that will be the way that Álvarez can win that fight.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so what do you think? Obviously, if Bud remains slick, what outside of that could cause Canelo?
Some people say Canelo never gets angry. Crawford has a reputation for always keeping his cool. But when Reynoso took over, the tone changed instantly. Suddenly, this wasn't just Canelo versus Crawford. It became teacher versus fighter, mentor versus challenger. And in that clash, the real battle wasn't physical, it was psychological. Reynoso's outburst wasn't just passion, it was a test, a way to rattle Crawford before the first punch is ever thrown. But Bud didn't blink. The smile stayed, the composure remained. For him, these were just mind games, and he looked like he was enjoying every second of it.
I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Álvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermell Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it. And lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3. And then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago. Because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Reynoso leaned in and fired off a warning, you'll regret this. But it wasn't just empty words. It was calculated, meant to plant doubt, to remind Crawford that this isn't Errol Spence, and there's no Sean Porter in front of him. This is 168 pounds. This is a different battlefield. Yet the twist came in Crawford's response, or lack of one. No comeback, no shouting match. Just a smile, a lean back in his chair, and silence. And if you know Bud, you know that smile means one thing, he's already 10 steps ahead. Reynoso wanted to set the stage, but Crawford's body language said it all. Because here's the reality, this isn't welterweight, and it isn't junior middleweight. This is Canelo Álvarez's home. He's been built for super middleweight, and he's ruled it for years. And when that bell rings, it's happening at 168, the one place where Canelo holds all the natural advantages.
For what the next couple of months are going to hold for both guys.
This is going to be super interesting for Canelo especially. Everyone's focusing on Terence Crawford because he's the smaller guy. How much weight is he going to put on, etc., etc. No rehydration clause in this fight. Meaning, you know, like when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Álvarez, because Canelo's the bigger guy, he put a rehydration clause in, because Floyd was the money guy. If Canelo wanted the payday, he had to acquiesce and give Floyd what he wanted. Canelo's the money guy. Terence Crawford can't go in there and say, hey, I want a rehydration clause. Not that he even would, right? So everyone's looking at Crawford. How big is he going to be? But I'm looking at Canelo. What Canelo comes into this fight? The older Canelo, meaning the younger Canelo, the older guy, you know, the old, long time ago Canelo, who was a really well-rounded counterpuncher, who could do everything, or this more recent Canelo, who just hunts guys down and has become more one.
Canelo isn't just comfortable at super middleweight, he thrives there. It's his kingdom. By fight night, after rehydrating, he often walks into the ring not at 168, but closer to 178 or even 180 pounds. In effect, he's stepping through the ropes as a light heavyweight. With a thick neck, wide shoulders, and legs built like steel pillars, his frame is designed for power. He's not just built to box, he's built to break opponents down like a tank rolling forward.
To your gloves, fight fans. The boxing world is buzzing about the upcoming Canelo versus Crawford showdown. Trainer Bob Santos is placing his bets on Canelo Álvarez, and here's why. It's all about size and power, folks. Canelo's been crushing it at super middleweight, while Crawford is making a massive leap up. Santos thinks Canelo's experience at 168 pounds will be too much for Crawford to handle. But don't count Crawford out just yet. He's undefeated for a reason. Will Canelo's strength prevail, or can Crawford's skills overcome the size difference? This fight's got everyone talking, and it's anyone's game. Who are you rooting for in this epic?
When you shift the lens to Crawford, the picture changes. He's a natural welterweight, someone who once ruled at 140 pounds and has rarely tipped past 154 on fight night. Even with extra muscle added, he's still giving up 15 to 20 pounds to Canelo. And those pounds aren't just numbers on a scale, they're force behind every jab, every hook, every rib-crushing body shot. That's the weight gap Eddie Reynoso was hammering home. He was reminding Crawford that this isn't Sean Porter or Errol Spence across the ring. This is a man who has flattened true middleweights with a single left hook, a man who's gone the distance trading leather with light heavyweights like Dmitry Bivol and Sergey Kovalev.
Timber, what do you think about that fight?
Canelo Crawford, good fight. Good fight. Canelo has advantage because Crawford moving up, but my advice to Crawford is like maintain the speed, improve the speed, and improve the strength. Because it's hard to go up in high weight and maintain your speed. So speed is the key. Like he should focus on speed, footwork, and improve the power.
There's more to this than Canelo's punching power. It's about durability. Crawford has dominated elite welterweights, but the question is whether his shots will mean anything against a man who shrugs off punches from full-fledged 175-pounders. That's the seed Eddie Reynoso is trying to plant. He wants the size gap to dominate the conversation long before the first bell. But here's the twist. Despite the odds, Crawford is still the people's favorite heading into this fight. That's what unsettles Reynoso the most. Many don't realize it's not only Canelo's reputation on the line, it's Reynoso's as well. Trainers may not throw a single punch, but their legacy is tied to their fighter's name. Think Pacquiao and Freddie Roach, Cos D'Amato and Tyson, Angelo Dundee and Ali. In the same way, Reynoso's rise is inseparable from Canelo's. If Crawford pulls off the upset, Reynoso doesn't just lose a fight, he risks losing the empire he built alongside Canelo. That's why his outburst at the press conference mattered. It wasn't just words, it was protection. For him, this fight is personal. Even former champ Juan Manuel Vargas weighed in, warning that Crawford's strength is real, strong enough to make Canelo feel it. And when the opening bell rings, Reynoso knows there's no stopping that moment of truth.
I've actually sparred Crawford. I sparred Crawford, and I was walking around like 180. I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna be chilling. I'm gonna be able to move him around, and nah, bro, Crawford. I think he has like wrestling in his background or whatever.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
and he's strong, bro, and he's just a real strong guy. So, it's gonna be a great fight. I feel Crawford has the skills, right? But Canelo has the weight, and he also has the experience.
But not everyone dismissed Reynoso's warning. Antonio Tarver agreed that the boxing world should tread carefully, reminding fans that emotions can reveal truths fighters don't say out loud. Yet Andre Ward interpreted Reynoso's rage differently. To him, it wasn't weakness, it was instinct. Dogs only bark that way when their master feels real pressure, Ward explained, hinting that Reynoso may sense the danger Crawford brings. And if you want the most honest perspective, you go to someone who's been in there with Bud himself, Sean Porter. Porter didn't sugarcoat it. He called both Crawford and Canelo bad men, the type of fighters who thrive in chaos. That's why, for him, this matchup isn't just about skills or size, it's about two predators colliding, and only one walking out on top.
That's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another. You know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out. You know what I mean?
So once again, the boxing world is split. And here's the real question. What actually changes inside the ring now? For Canelo, maybe it's the mental edge of knowing his trainer, his lifelong mentor, is all in and fighting this battle with him. That kind of loyalty sharpens focus. For Crawford, though, doubt is fuel. Being told he can't do something, that's when Bud is at his most dangerous. He's repeated it over and over, he already knows the blueprint to beat Canelo. Like Mayweather and Bivol showed before him, you don't have to destroy Canelo, you just need 12 rounds of control, and that's what makes this fight so rare. Even after the fireworks of the press conference, nobody truly knows. Some can't look past Canelo's size. Others believe in Crawford's genius. And then there's a massive group stuck right in the middle, calling it a 50-50.
To beat him. He's never been knocked out before, but he lost fights before. So everybody, that's coming in thinking that I need a knockout to beat Canelo Álvarez is wrong. And that's not the approach that we taking this fight. If the knockout comes, then it comes. But we're not going in there to knock him out. We're not looking for the knockout.
Terrence, you've said if you win, you feel you're on the Mount Rushmore.
I didn't say if I win. Okay. I said when I win.
Well, with that, what is Terence Crawford's legacy with a win over Canelo?
Listen, I already said it. I'm on that.
And that's the beauty of this fight. Anything feels possible. We've seen it before with guys like Edgar Berlanga, proof that raw power can shake up expectations. Crawford's intelligence inside the ring is unmatched, but Canelo's strength and experience tip the balance right back. That's why so many call it dead even. Moments like when Reynoso snapped at the press conference matter. In a battle this close, the mental game can weigh just as heavily as size, power, or skill. One slip in focus, one crack in confidence, could decide everything.
Crawford problems. I favor Canelo, not by a lot, but I do favor him. I just think that, I think the skull fight was just a bad style. And I think Canelo was like, why force the issue? You know what I mean? I'm up. This guy's running. I'm not gonna take a chance. So I think that it was that kind of fight for Canelo. But Madrimov did give Crawford problems. You know what I'm saying? And where I felt like, damn, at 54, he gave you problems. 68 is different.
So here's the real question. Who's right? Was Reynoso correct about the mountain Crawford has to climb against a bigger, stronger Canelo? Or was Bud's smile the real answer? Proof that he's already 3 steps ahead and ready to shock the world? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Fight Day for more of the biggest stories in boxing. I'll catch you in the next one.